नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नाट्यप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। So continuing with our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, text number 7 onwards. So these verses are spoken by Sud Goswami. So, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yad Ahetukam. So more he is glorifying bhakti now. So previously he glorified saying that this bhakti, if it is uninterrupted and unmotivated, that completely satisfies the self. So now he further says, by rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So other day somebody was asking, how would we know we are making progress in bhakti? So these are the two symptoms also. That is, one immediately, janati ashu means very soon, immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. The detachment from the material world will definitely happen once we are making progress in bhakti. Obviously, other symptoms are also there, not in this shloka, but other where it's also mentioned. Those who consider devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna to be something like material, emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes of transcendental realization are recommended. According to them, bhakti or the devotional service of the Lord is meant for those who cannot perform the high grade activities. Actually, this is a common belief. People, this is what they say, that bhakti means those people who cannot do anything else, they go into bhakti. But they don't understand. Bhakti entails everything. It involves everything. We have knowledge, we have yoga, everything is there in bhakti. Detachment, everything is there. Generally, it is said that bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas, and less intelligent women class. That is not the actual fact. The bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. So it is simultaneously easy, although bhakti process looks easy. Okay, what do we do? Okay, just chant. But do we think chanting attentively without committing offenses is an easy task to do? It's not at all easy. Making progress in bhakti is comparatively easy. Why? Because in bhakti we depend on the mercy of predecessor acharyas, mercy of Guru, mercy of Krishna. And because they are so powerful, they can easily lift us up. So that's why to make progress in bhakti is comparatively easy as compared to if somebody has to make progress in Hatha Yoga or Jnana Yoga or other processes. Because in those processes, a person is completely dependent upon his own capability. In Jnana Yoga, he has to study, he has to sit down, try to figure out the meaning of the scriptures. In Hatha Yoga, he has to go and sit in a cave for many, many, many years, completely controlling his senses and trying to concentrate or focus on whatever they focus on, light or Paramatma or whatever. That process is difficult, no doubt. To make progress in bhakti is easy, but the bhakti process itself, it looks easy, but it's not that easy. It's not at all easy. As I said, how many of us can really say that, yes, I chant with full concentration? Although it's the easiest process, but it's most powerful. That's the proper say. It's simultaneously sublime. Sublime means it. We cannot put a finger on it, but it's very powerful and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord. And it's easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti. So, both ways, it's sublime and easy. The other high grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti factors. Means one who is performing bhakti, he automatically does all these activities. All these activities are taken care of actually. And now in the the word came, Janati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam cha yat ahetukam, means the knowledge and detachment, Vairagya. It develops automatically in a person who is performing bhakti. But that doesn't mean like now we are trying to study. Is this Jnana Yoga or is it Bhakti? But it is Bhakti because we are trying to study scriptures for the pleasure of our Guru and for Krishna. And moreover, by studying the scriptures, the idea is not to become a big Vijnani, but to preach to others so they can also understand the finer sentiments of bhakti and the finer principles of bhakti. The idea behind us achieving this knowledge is that in I don't know if I told this story when Bhagavatam was being glorified. He spoke of Bhagavatam Mahatmya. So what had happened once Narad Muni, he came to Vrindavan. He was on his way to Vrindavan. And then he saw one young lady and with two old people next to her. So Narad Muni asked that, and the young lady was crying and she was saying, oh, these two old people are her sons. And Narad Muni got baffled. He said, what are you talking about? Who are you? And who are these two old? They look very old, two persons. And he said, Narad Muni, you are so young and beautiful, and you are saying they are your sons. It doesn't make sense. Who are you? So that lady then said, I am actually Bhakti. Then, okay, Narad Muni was surprised, Bhakti in personified form. Then who are these two people, these two young sons of yours? Or they are Gyan and Vairagya. Narad Muni was surprised. What? Tell me the whole story, he said. Bhakti said, actually we three started from southern part of India. And we were young and we started moving towards north. So when we started moving towards north, so slowly, all three of us started getting old. Means in southern part of India, if you see, there's lots of bhakti is there, rituals are there, and knowledge is there, detachment is there. When we move towards north, then bhakti is also gets feeble, knowledge, detachment, everything gets feeble. So she said, I came towards Gujarat. Again, I was getting old, and somebody said, go towards Vrindavan. So I started come towards Vrindavan. So when I came towards Vrindavan, I became young, but my sons are still old. So then she was asking Narad Muni, so you're Narad Muni, why don't you make my sons young again? Young means along with bhakti, they should be healthy. It means the knowledge and detachment. Narad Muni said, okay, it's very easy because anybody who hears the scriptures, he becomes young and healthy. So Narad Muni spoke Bhagavad Gita. Narad Muni spoke all other scriptures to these Gyan and Vairagya, old persons. First, he spoke all of the scriptures, nothing happened. Then he spoke Bhagavad Gita. They started moving a little, but nothing still happened. And Bhakti was, Narad Muni, if you cannot revive my sons, then who can? So even Narad Muni was baffled. Now what to do? So he went to I think he went to Badrika Ashram. He went there, and there were four Kumaras he met. And the four Kumaras, and then he put this question in front of four Kumaras. How come these two sons of Bhakti, they're not getting young and strong body? Even in Vrindavan, and even if I have spoken all the scriptures. Four Kumaras said, because you did not teach them Srimad Bhagavatam. So four Kumaras taught Bhagavatam to Narad Muni first day, and Narad Muni came back to Vrindavan and Bhagavatam to Bhakti and the two sons immediately they got up and they became young and healthy. This is the power of Srimad Bhagavatam. It gives us everything: bhakti, knowledge, and vairagya or detachment. So this means that these two sons, knowledge and detachment, they are related to bhakti. So one who has bhakti very much strongly in his heart, knowledge and detachment will definitely follow, will definitely be there. Detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. The whole spiritual process leads to perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual, and the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to spiritual activities. So this is the process, that the one becomes really detached from material affection. Becoming detached from material things does not mean becoming inert altogether, as men with poor fund of knowledge think. See, Prabhupada is clearly writing, it does not mean becoming inert, becoming inactive. No. Negations of non-essential does not mean negations of the essential. Similarly, detachment from material form does not mean nullifying the positive form. The bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of bhakti cult, with the application of positive science to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and becomes attached to superior things. But at the same time, when he has knowledge of everything, then he knows actually everything belongs to Krishna. Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Means one who has knowledge, he comes to the shelter of Krishna, and it is very rare, but one who has knowledge of everything, then he understands everything is actually related to Krishna. Everything is energy of Krishna. So he doesn't see anything except Krishna or Krishna's energy in everything. So actually, in that vision, nothing is material. The concept of material and spiritual is dependent upon our consciousness. Actually, nothing is material if you look at it properly. Everything is energy of Krishna, and if it is energy of Krishna, it cannot be material. It just, when we try to enjoy these things for our purpose, for our sake, for our happiness, then these things become material. When we engage the same things in service of Krishna, same things become spiritual. For example, we have taken this Zoom subscription for classes. Same Zoom subscription can be taken by others to conduct material meetings. So is a Zoom subscription or Zoom software or the people working in Zoom company, are they material or spiritual? It depends how we use that. Now we're using these headphones or this laptop or the mobile phones. We are using it, so it becomes spiritual. So similarly, a person who is more advanced, more developed, he sees everything, even his relatives, which they might not be in the process of bhakti right now, but they all are spiritual beings. Okay, right now they might not be doing bhakti, but they have done bhakti and they will take up bhakti sooner or later. So if we deal with them in that mentality, then the relationship also becomes more congenial. So next shloka, again, this whole chapter, the shlokas are very, very important. Because the sages asked for dharma also, and this sages headed by Shaunak Rishi, so Sud Goswami is explaining. Dharma svanushtita pumsam vishvaksena katha suyam nautpade yadiratim shram eva hi kevalam. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. So the occupation, dharma svanishtita pumsam. Dharma, there are many types of dharma. One is varnashram dharma. So even somebody is performing his activities or duties in varnashram dharma properly, very nicely, or I'm a very nice Brahman or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a sannyasi, brahmachari. I'm doing my duties nicely, but Sud Goswami says they are only so much useless labor, shram evhi kevalam, if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. If they do not provoke attraction for Krishna or Krishna's message or Krishna's instructions. So what if somebody lives nicely and he has a nice house, he takes care of the family nicely, puts his kids into good education, and then later on they settle down nicely in nice jobs or nice business or whatever, and he lives, and the person lives a very healthy life, he gives lots of charity, everything good, but if he hasn't developed a taste for Krishna's name, Krishna's glories, Krishna's form, Krishna's service, Sud Goswami said, it's just a useless labor. And the words, if you look at in the shloka, Sud Goswami says, Shram eva hi kevalam. Eva means only, he means certainly, kevalam means entirely. Means he is putting so much of stress that it's only a useless labor, it's certainly a useless labor, it's entirely nothing but useless labor. If you just work towards the bodily duties, basically the dharma here is all the duties of the body. And if you don't perform the activities towards satisfying the soul. So shram eva hi kevalam means they are all definitely. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, because foolish people have no information of the soul and how it is beyond the purview of the body and mind, they are not satisfied in the performance of their occupational duties. The question of the satisfaction of the self is raised herein. The self is beyond the gross body and subtle mind. He is the potent active principle of the body and mind. Without knowing the need of the dormant soul, one cannot be happy simply with emolument of the body and mind. Emolument means just by decorating the body and the mind. Body and mind are but superfluous outer coverings of the spirit souls. The spirit soul's needs must be fulfilled. And Prabhupada here gives the example of simply by cleansing the cage of the bird, one does not satisfy the bird. So this is, we all are actually guilty to a certain extent. We try to cleanse the cage. Okay? I mean, there was one lady, old lady, she had a beautiful bird, beautiful cage where the bird used to sit in. And she would, every day, she would take plenty of time, plenty of labor she would put in to clean the cage very nicely, decorate the cage and clean the cage. But she would not feed the bird. And slowly, after a while, the bird died. And she could not understand how come the bird died. I was keeping the cage so nicely, clean and decorated. But she didn't understand. One has to feed bird to keep the bird alive. So similarly, in our body, we have a soul inside the body. Just decorate the body, if you just clean the body, if you just nutrients to the body and the mind, but nothing for the soul, how is the soul going to live? Of course, the soul is eternal, we can say, but living of the soul means we have to provide the nutrition for the soul, which is holy name of Krishna, service of Krishna, hearing the katha of Krishna. That is the diet for the soul. So this is what Sud Goswami is saying, that if somebody does not develop an attraction for the holy name or the stories or the pastimes of Krishna, then anything that he has done, anything he does, is only a useless wastage of time. Shram evahi kevalam. Therefore, we have to engage ourselves in occupational engagements that will evoke our divine consciousness. This is possible only by hearing and chanting the divine activities of the Supreme Lord, and any occupational activity which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting is said here to be simply a waste of time. Nothing but a waste of time. Even the activities of the salvationists are considered to be useless because of the failure to pick up the fountainhead of all liberties. Means because they fail to serve the Supreme Lord, even if they say, we are after salvation or liberation, it's just a useless time, wastage of time. The gross materialist can practically see that his material gain is limited only to time and space, either in this world or in the other. Even if he goes up to Swargaloka, he will find no permanent abode for this hankering soul. Hankering soul must be satisfied by the perfect scientific process of perfect devotional service. So this is a process that will give the hankering soul. Why a hankering soul? Because soul in this world, anywhere, they are only looking for happiness. They're looking for real happiness. And the real happiness can only be found in devotional service, in activities related to Krishna. Otherwise, real happiness cannot be found in this material. There is no way. So I think I'll stop here. See, ask anybody has any questions or comments. Sorry, today we have covered only 2 verses. Questions or comments? So I guess everybody has agreed with whatever I said. Yes, Archana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm feeling good about it. Along with what you're saying, and I'm reading it also in the book.
Yeah,
I'm feeling
yeah,
good.
great. You got the Bhagavatam set, huh?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But now it's looking, it's like feeling a good attachment with it. What you're saying is I'm reading it also. It's like I'm feeling
Yeah,
that
then it sinks in actually.
we both are on the same page. It's look like this.
Yeah. And obviously, if whoever can come, if we go to that place where Shukdev Goswami spoke Bhagavatam, and we inhale all the vibrations and wonderful vibrations are there, we'll definitely have more impact of Bhagavatam on us.
Yes. Let's see how it's going to be planned out.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Good
So,
realization.
thank you, Mata.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, you said in other fields like Gyan Yoga and the yoga, the person has to do alone all the things. But Prabhuji, in yoga also, I have heard that Guru lifts the sadhak to up to certain level with his powers.
No, not with his powers. He teaches him, and maybe he can guide him. But finally, the Hatha Yoga, if you're talking about the Dhyan Yoga, a person he himself has to meditate on Paramatma feature. Otherwise, there is no other way possible. And that's my understanding.
And Prabhuji, in Bhakti Yoga, if you could quote some example where where Guru has helped the disciple to.
Well, Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, Prabhupada was once quoting a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is said that if somebody is chanting the holy names of the Lord, Supacho, something like that, I'm forgetting the words. If somebody is chanting the holy names of the Lord, that means in his previous lives, he has done all kinds of penance, sacrifices, study of scriptures, going to different places, pilgrimage, everything he has done. And now in this life, he has got this opportunity to chant the holy names. So those disciples, they went to Prabhupada, so Bhagavatam says this, so now we are chanting, this means we have done all these activities in our previous lives. Prabhupada said, made your pious activities. So go back to chanting and service. So Guru can uplift anybody in the process of bhakti, anybody, anywhere. He has this power because he is a pure representative of Krishna, and Krishna lifts that person up easily. Also, the examples are given of Mrigari hunter and Narad Muni. If you can read in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was given by mercy of Narad Muni. He came on the perfect platform. Valmiki Rishi, and again Narad Muni. His mercy, Valmiki Rishi got to the topmost platform. So bhakti process, in that way, it is simple. But one has to do the performance. He has to do do not commit offenses. Obviously, if we commit offenses, we will go down. And it cannot happen like, okay, Guru says chant 16 rounds, and if I say no, Guruji, now I got Diksha, I don't have to chant because you have taken my responsibility, then it doesn't happen. So we have to perform our activities, but we are not going to go back by our sadhana. Like, for example, once, what's his name? Gaur Govind Maharaj, he said in one of his lectures, in Kali Yuga, there are two ways, or not in Kali Yuga, in every Yuga, there are two ways of getting perfection. One are sadhana siddh devotees. Sadhana siddh means by their own sadhana, they become perfect and go back to the spiritual world. And others are kripa siddh. By the mercy of the Guru, they go back. So then he was saying, in this Kali Yuga, in this day and age, it's very, very difficult for one to become sadhana siddh. Only thing what's going to happen is we're going to become kripa siddh. But the kripa or the mercy one gets when one sincerely tries to follow the instructions of Guru. It's not by following the instructions of Guru or by our own sadhana we're going to become perfect. By our sincerely endeavoring to follow the instructions, we will get the mercy of Guru and then he takes us back. Every morning we also sing Prasada, Bhagavad Prasado. If he is pleased, Krishna will be pleased. So if Prabhupada is pleased, there's sincere endeavors to chant, to preach, to engage in all the devotional service, Krishna will get pleased. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. And there is also one little that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there were so many Brahmins inviting Mahaprabhu to lunch, prasadam at their house. And Mahaprabhu made that any Brahman who's not a Lakshmi, I will not do his except meditation. Brahmans all get together. So Mahaprabhu said, no, it's what do you mean? Lucky I does not end 1 lakh say, I walk like 64 rounds every day. So some disciples, they read this story, they went to Srila Prabhupada. They told Prabhupada, so we don't chant 64 rounds. You told us to chant 16 rounds. And we cannot concentrate for 64 rounds either. So what does it mean? When we offer the bhoga to Mahaprabhu, he doesn't accept it then? And Prabhupada replied, you all chant 16 rounds, you follow the 4 principles, you offer the bhoga to Mahaprabhu, I'll see to it how he doesn't accept it. So this is where Guru's mercy or Prabhupada's mercy comes in. That's important for us. The Prabhupada is there to protect us. And Prabhupada did say in one of his lectures, he said, I have the key to the back door of Golok Vrindavan. So I'll take you all through the back door of Golok Vrindavan. So who goes through the back door means those who are not at all qualified to come through the front door. So I don't think we will be qualified to go through the front door. Prabhupada will just sneak us in from the back door. That's his mercy, right? So we'll just get the mercy of can process that. Is it okay? Okay. Thank you, Prabhupada. We'll stop here. Have a nice day. Jai Srila Prabhupada.